What's up guys, my name's Spartan, and in today's video I'm going to be going over some testing that I have done recently with my generator modules. So I have done a few different tests with a few different generator modules, basically to see which one yields me the highest amount of coins. So let me preface. Prior to this point, I have pretty much exclusively used my Galaxy compressor. This is currently what my Galaxy compressor is looking at. And yeah, I basically wanted to do a couple tests with a few different things. So I now have the free upgrade mastery, as you can see here, which allows me to lock a stat in the workshop during the run that is not going to be impacted by free upgrades. So this has allowed me to do basically a variation of Devo called free upgrade Orbless Devo, or as some like to say, FU to max. And because of that, I wanted to do some testing with a couple different modules. So first of all, I wanted to try syncing my Golden Bot with my Multiverse Nexus cooldown, which is currently 75 seconds, which I was able to do by respeccing my Golden Bot. You can see now I have a cooldown of 75 seconds, a bonus of times 4.4, and a range fully maxed, and a duration of 22 seconds. So I've heard a lot of people suggest that having a synced Golden Bot makes a very big impact in terms of your coin progress, and I'm just going to go through kind of the general results that I have personally noticed. So for the purpose of this test, I basically did a full run all the way to the end to see which module would yield me the highest amount of coins. And I think first and foremost, let's just start with Black Hole Digester. So this is currently what my Black Hole Digester is looking like. I have the free attack upgrade Mythic, a Mythic enemy attack level skip, and then a rare free defense upgrade effect, as well as an epic free utility upgrade effect. And pretty much what I found was that out of the three, between Singularity Harness, Black Hole Digester, and Galaxy Compressor, Black Hole Digester actually performed the worst out of the three. And I think that the main reason for this has to do with the level of my coins per kill bonus lab. I was speaking with some more experienced players in my Discord server, and basically they had mentioned that because the unique effect for Black Hole Digester basically goes off of your coins per kill bonus, as you can read here, it's not going to scale near as high if your coins per kill bonus lab is not very developed, which is pretty much exactly what I found. I found that I got, by the end of the run, around 20 trillion coins, which was really not very much compared to what I was getting with Galaxy Compressor. There's another player in the Tower Discord server, as well as YouTuber, who basically was running Black Hole Digester and saw a completely different result. And he was able to go from making around like 80 to 100 billion per minute at the peak to now pretty dang close, if not already over 200 billion per minute by switching to Black Hole Digester. So I was kind of puzzled as to why pretty much I was not seeing the similar results as he was. And we kind of put all of our stuff side by side. We compared our Golden Bots, we compared our ultimate weapon like sync cooldowns. We also compared obviously our Black Hole Digesters. And everything was pretty decently close in terms of like matching up with each other. So the main overall deficit was that his coins per kill bonus was significantly higher than mine. You can see mine currently is level 57. I believe his is somewhere in the 80s. Now let's go ahead and talk about my Galaxy Compressor. So here's how my Galaxy Compressor currently looks. I do have Ancestral for my Galaxy Compressor, so that is a consideration. Also keep in mind there is an Ancestral coins per kill bonus effect on this module. I don't think that there is for my other stuff. So overall, the main reason that using Galaxy Compressor would have been efficient for me is for two things. First of all, there can be an argument for having 100% uptime on my Golden Tower and my Black Hole, providing a lot more coins. There can also be an argument for Galaxy Compressor helping me out in terms of having more Deathwave activations, therefore netting me a higher amount of cells during my runs, and that was definitely the most noticeable thing. I definitely got a lot more cells using my Galaxy Compressor than I did with either of the other two, Singularity Harness or Black Hole Digester. And again, I think that kind of comes down to just the unique effect of taking off the cooldowns of the ultimate weapons and reducing them by negative 20 seconds. So I definitely saw some good increases in my cell income from using Galaxy Compressor. And for the coins that I was getting from my runs with Galaxy Compressor was around 31 or 32 trillion per run. And the last thing that I will say about the Galaxy Compressor is that I also noticed my runs were able to go a little bit further, because I believe you can see right now I don't have permanent black hole or permanent golden tower. So having permanent black hole definitely made a huge difference in terms of keeping the enemies away from my tower, not hurting me near as much, versus having a little bit of downtime like I have if I use the other two modules that we're speaking about. So for reference, with Galaxy Compressor, I can generally push somewhere around 9,000 waves with my Galaxy Compressor, whereas with my Black Hole Digester and my Singularity Harness, I might only get to like 8,500, maybe 8,600, just kind of depends on the luck of the draw. But that's also a pretty big consideration, because that extra 500 waves, that's a lot of cells that I'm missing out on. And last but not least, let's talk about my Singularity Harness. So I was very, very excited to test out my Singularity Harness, as I just recently got it Ancestral, and I still need to work on the module effects, of course. And I will say Singularity Harness did slightly better in terms of coins than my Galaxy Compressor, which kind of caught me off guard. So you can see, for reference, during this run right now that I'm in, I'll just pull up my stats here. For the run, I am at 16 trillion coins for this farming run, and my golden bot has contributed basically a third of my coins for the entire run. And again, I think that has to do with just syncing up my golden bot with my other ultimate weapons. I think that was a major, major play, and it would definitely get even more effective as I continue to work on the duration of the golden bot as well as the bonus. But yeah, in terms of ranking which of these three I think performed the best, I'm going to say that the absolute worst, kind of like we mentioned, was my Black Hole Digester. Black Hole Digester netted me overall the least amount of coins, and also pretty much got me the same amount of waves as my Singularity Harness, which was still less than my Galaxy Compressor. So Black Hole Digester is 100% going to be the lowest on this test that I saw, performance-wise. And again, I think that the biggest reason for that is my coins per kill lab being as low as it was. I think perhaps if I got that up another 20 or 30 levels, it might be a different result, maybe something to test out in the future, but at the moment, that's sort of where I'm at. Second on the list is actually going to be the Singularity Harness, because although I did technically make a few more trillion in coins during the runs, my runs were a little bit shorter, and because I had less death wave uptime with the Galaxy Compressor effect, I lost out on quite a few cells that I would have had I had Galaxy Compressor in. And with that leaves Galaxy Compressor with being the best overall result for this test that I did. And again, a lot of that has to do with getting as much uptime on my ultimate weapons as possible, being able to get my death wave up longer, being able to have permanent black hole and permanent golden tower, and later on permanent chrono field was absolutely huge in terms of survivability and also coin income. Not to mention the extra added uptime on my death wave, having the effect waves tag enemies and get me more coins that way, as well as cells. And granted, this test is strictly for coins that I was kind of looking at, but I do think it's fair to go ahead and factor in the cells and the overall survivability as well, because that is also pretty important. But anyway, with that, I think my current plan for the meantime is I am more than likely just going to put back on my Galaxy Compressor and maybe try to work on some of these last two effects to get something a little bit better, because I think it will probably end up getting me a better overall return. That's sort of what I'm thinking at the moment. I definitely think that later on I'm going to be more than willing to do some more tests like this if you guys enjoyed this sort of video, because I think it's important. And just keep in mind, my results will be different than your results, more than likely, which will also be more different than another person's results, and etc. And this has to do with what I have personally upgraded. This is just what I personally noticed with my own tower. Again, your results may vary based on what you have upgraded and what you have kind of prioritized in terms of your ultimate weapons, in terms of your module effects, all of these things. And one last thing that I forgot to factor into the equation with this test that could definitely influence the results a little bit is going to be the perks. So I had auto pick perks on for all of these tests that I did. And, you know, there's no telling when exactly I got, for example, the coin trade-off perk, or the rest of my econ perks like black hole duration, golden tower bonus, +1 wave on death wave, all of these sort of things. There's no telling when exactly I was able to max out my economy perks. So I suppose the test could be a little bit inaccurate from that standpoint. But if you're also considering, like I mentioned, the waves alone, Galaxy Compressor outperformed the other two just for the sake of getting me pretty much an extra 500 waves just because I had more crowd control available. So I think when I do future tests, and if you want to do tests of your own, I would recommend maybe not doing an entire run, but perhaps going to around wave 2000 and not selecting any perks, because perks can definitely skew the number, in particular the coins, based on how soon you're able to get some of these perks. Anyway guys, that is going to wrap up today's video, but I really hope that you enjoyed it. And if you did, please consider liking the video and subscribing to see more of my videos, as well as maybe dropping a little comment with any constructive feedback or comments that you have. I greatly appreciate all of the YouTube stuff. If you'd like to support me financially as well, you can do so by checking out the YouTube memberships, or my gamer ID is down in the description below if you ever want to bless me with a gem/stone pack. And last thing here, we do have a Discord server with almost 1,000 members in it. We are growing a community of like-minded people who enjoy playing this game just as much as I do, and it has been really, really fun and exciting watching this thing grow and develop. I have made a lot of friends on the server that, you know, I probably wouldn't have seen had I not started the server. And it's been a really, really cool experience. So if you're not currently in the Discord, I just have one question for you. What are you doing? And with that, that is going to conclude today's video. But thank you guys so much for watching. And like always, I will see you guys later.